Good day everyone, my name is Yusak Rabin, and this is my final assessments presentation for ADW 723, Seminar in Financial Decision Making. The topic of my presentation is From Crypto Opacity to Accountable Governance, an ESG-Integrated Governance Code for Digital Assets Firms. Here, I am proposing a crypto governance code based on two forms of failure from two cases. First, internal agency failure as seen in FTX. Second, externalized ESG costs as seen in Bitcoin mining. For governance code to be effective, therefore, it must control both financial misconduct and environmental externalities. I begin with case diagnosis. The case presents two different failures, but I think that both cases point to one governance gap. First, FTX, a cryptocurrency exchange. FTX represents internal governance failure. The key issue was not only business failure, but a weak control architecture. The FTX Alameda relationship created related party opacity and severe agency conflicts. Customers and investors bore the consequences when insiders had more control and information than the principals they were supposed to serve. Second, CleanSpark, a Bitcoin mining company. This is a different type of governance problem. It is not mainly about fraud, it is about ESG accountability. Bitcoin mining relies on energy-intensive proof-of-work computation. CleanSpark also stated that its energy mix was outside institutional control. This means the company may benefit from mining revenue, while environmental costs such as energy use and e-waste are partly shifted to wider society. This brings me to the theoretical synthesis. Agency theory is the most relevant starting point. Jensen and Mackling explain agency problems through monitoring costs, bonding costs, and residual loss. In simple terms, when agents are not properly monitored or bonded, principals absorb the losses. In FTX, the breakdown was internal. Weak audited controls, limited independent oversight, and related party opacity allowed agents to shift risk to customers and investors. But in Bitcoin mining, the agency problem becomes broader. ESG stakeholders become residual risk bearers. When environmental costs are not internalized by governance, society absorbs the residual loss through carbon impact, energy pressures, and e-waste. This is why traditional governance is insufficient. Traditional governance assumes stable jurisdiction and audited financials. Crypto requires dynamic, jurisdiction-agnostic bonding. Based on this, I propose a 5-pillar digital asset governance code. The first pillar is structural separation. Exchanges, trading arms, custody, lending, and related party entities must be legally separated. This directly prevents FTX Alameda-style commingling. The second pillar is on-chain treasury verification. Crypto firms should combine proof of reserves, liabilities attestation, real-time wallet disclosure, and independent custody. The aim is to ring-fence customer assets and make trust verifiable. The third pillar is independent board and risk oversight. Founder control must be balanced by independent directors, a risk committee, compliance authority, and stakeholder escalation mechanism. The fourth pillar is environmental bonding and anti-greenwashing. Mining firms should escrow capital for e-waste recycling, verifiable renewable energy claims, and subject the energy mix to independent assurance. ESG should not be a marketing claim. It should be a binding governance mechanism. The fifth pillar is regulatory and lobbying accountability. Firms should disclose regulatory exposure, lobbying positions, compliance gap, and proactively support data transparency, including EIA and DOE type disclosure. The governance response is therefore direct. Structural separation addresses the FTX Alameda conflicts, on-chain custody verification addresses misuse of customer assets, independent oversight addresses founder-dominated control, environmental bonding addresses ESG opacity in mining, and finally, regulatory and lobbying accountability addresses fragmented regulation. Each pillar is not a generic recommendation. It is a direct response to a documented case failure. I conclude with 2 points. First, digital asset exchanges need financial institution governance, while Bitcoin miners need environmental impact governance. Second, true financial sustainability requires governance architecture that internalize both agency conflicts and environmental externalities. My final takeaway is this: governance is the pricing mechanism for true long-term value. Without governance, crypto profits might be overstated because the real costs are shifted to customers, investors, regulators, and the environment. Thank you.